Ahem. Hello. What is up, my guys? It is me, the Expletive, and today we're doing part 2 or 3 for this. I can't remember. I think it's part 2. Yeah, definitely part 2. If it's not part 2, then this is part 3. Sorry for the delay, guys. Just like I've been, not doing anything. My mind has been thinking of what ifs I should do. But slowly as I think of them, I go to sleep, but it's like, next day, like, I'm not gonna do it. Sorry for the suspense. Usually I post weekly, but I haven't posted in 4 months, which is surprising to me. Usually I post every month or so. So that'll be changing a lot. So yeah, anyway, here we go. Wait, just check how much percent. I only have 42%. Jesus whiz. Almost got demonetized for this. Let me just get up, sit down on my chair. Okay. And anyway, I'm just putting something in, guys. Ahem. So, about Bell and about how will he be in Demonchi. So, we're gonna go over this first and whatever, but you see, since Bell's theoretically in that game, he's gonna have another skill, but it's not Lazarus phrase. It's gonna be called adaptation or adaptation from Warframe. Because, if I think about it correctly, it's that he's adapting to basically his environment. I'm changing it, yes. But he only has a certain amount of time, like 20 seconds, to adapt to that damage. But I'm going to put a little twist on it. Some things that will, like, up his, like, status will remain still. But the more he's damaged, the more, like, trauma he's, like, went through, the more he can adapt to it. And the more he can, like, have different forms and everything, you know? Oh my goodness, I left my charger was all the way back on my bed. Jeez. I'm sorry about that, guys. Anyway, let me just charge up my phone so you guys can enjoy it. So, Bell was looking around one day and decided to say, this nagging feeling on the back of my neck's telling me I should rest. It's probably the damn party mode this thing's on, or entertainment mode. And then it goes off and says, hey kids, if you want a free Fazbear token, you can come on, give me a big old hug. And it was like that. Sorry about that, it's taking a breath in. As Bell went back to the corner, and yes, I actually had a part for this, guys. Believe it or not, I accidentally was still recording. And when I realized I was still recording, I was recording and I went to the Big Boy Man site, which only I'm going to say Big Boy because you all were not supposed to see that. And I do have the footage still. It's just that I have to recap on it, but since I'm going now to the Manchi for this, yes, this will be that, but other things as well. For it, I know I'm just pulling stuff out my very arse right now. So. Okay, anyway. As Bell went into that room where he was for like 30 years, as he slid down and closed his eyes, he just laughs like, I never even got to give a kiss to a girl. As Bell closed his eyes, and then next thing you know, he feels something on his chest jiggling. It was like Jello on his chest. And then, as soon as he opens his eyes, he sees someone in front of him. His vision was blurry because he was just waking up. The moment he opened his eyes, he sees a goddess or a girl on his chest. She had black hair, and her tatas were on his chest. And of course, Bell blushed like a tomato, like usually, but then he immediately got up and got off the couch, and, like, slowly tried to lay her down. But then he just realized something. He could feel that. As the mysterious person was laying there, was just sleeping. As then Bell just says, "Oh gosh, where the heck am I?" As then all of a sudden, he gets this urge in the back of his head, and then starts trying to remember it. He was in the gaming. Man, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, guys. He was in somewhat of a trance. He just sat there for 5 seconds. During those 5 seconds, he just tried to remember, how did I get here? And then he remembered, that jolt from that game device must have gave him some type of link to this world, link to this place. And what was even more shocking to him was that his whole body could feel everything now. Breathe, sleep, like breathe, talk, move, feel his face again, moving his hands. It was like all the feeling came back to him. However, one thing that was missing. Bell looked around and he saw a knife as he picks it up without the girl even waking up. As then he pokes his finger with it. He did feel a jolt of pain, but he did not even like flinch at it. You see, I'm giving Bell a huge tolerance to pain. Because one, you guys would feel so much pain being that Springlock suit and actually still feeling your organs moving around. So you'd be pretty gosh dang, like you should be so used to pain right now. Like, tolerant to the pain. He will feel some pain though. But it won't be as much. As then he looks at the girl. As then he gets nailed back onto the ground. And he gets having a huge headache. A bunch of memories start going to his head. As then he gets up, he just looks at the girl like, so, her name's Hestia. As then Bell just says, God, why does this kid not see it? Well, then he remembered, oh yeah, in the cartoons, it was like really, really obvious how the main character wasn't like a really idiot. Jesus. Was I really this gullible back then? Damn it, John. Why'd you have to make an exact copy of me? As he said to his head. As Bell begins to notice that Hestia is waking up. As Hestia begins waking up, getting up like, Bell? Oh, you're up. Good. I have to go to work today, so could you go to dungeon? You usually be gone by now, but I guess you got up alongside the bed. As then Bell tries not to look at Goth's condition, but he just stares like, yeah, I'll get ready, goddess. As then Hestia's like, Bell's acting strangely. As she thinks like, something isn't right. Bell, why are you acting weird today? Acting weird? Well, as then he also remembered how Bell, like, he can't lie to gods. He's like, what's your excuse? Like, aha, I know. Well, I was in a dungeon and I was just having, I I'm just having a hard time in the dungeon, so I'm pretty under stress, which was true because he has memories of this Bell's version, not the whole Bell, because in this timeline, we're at actually episode, can't remember, but I know it's either episode 2 to 3 or 4. I can't remember which like part where Bill's Hester's on top of Bill. I can't remember heck. Okay. Okay. As Bell gets everything ready and suits up, he begins walking to the guild or to the dungeon. As he was walking, he says this. Oh man, I can't believe it. I'm actually in the game. The game itself was fascinating. All the NPCs were actually, when you talked to them, they felt really alive. So John must put a lot of work into this game. However, one thing was obvious. The NPCs were actually alive, not actually of a cartoon. Because one thing was obvious. So I'm watching Z Nation right now, guys, on my headphones. And it's really, really interesting. And sorry, anyway, I'll continue. As Bill is saying this all in his head, he gets to the dungeon and sees Ina. As Bell has some memory. Spring Traps, Bell has some memories about Ina, but some of them are a bit faded because of the both trauma and things. But he does remember her name and her age. Bell walks to Ina hey Ina. And it's Bell, you're 2 minutes late. You're usually not that late. What happened? As he says, well, my God, it's was kind of making me a bit late. So I'm sorry, Miss Ina. As then Ina notices one thing. He's not bowing. That he's usually, his first time when he was late, he usually bowed. So that was pretty odd of him. But she decided to let it go because, one, Bell always goes to the dungeon. And she thinks she let it go, but if it happens again, she might suspect that something happened to Bell. I know, dumb logic, I know, just bear with me now. I don't have a script made. Anyway, I'll continue. Let's see, Bell. You have to go to dungeon to still pay off your Goss's debt, right? As Bell's Ina, please don't remind me. As you says, I'm sorry, Bell. I just like teasing you. Anyway, have fun the dungeon. Also, here's the piece of paper that says you're in. Make sure you check those out. See ya. As Bell begins walking downstairs, going to the floors, he looks at all the people around him that have equipment that are really good. As then he says, geez, this is a medieval game. Jeez. However, one thing that was obvious, it was a bit of modern times, but it was pretty interesting, both modern and impressive. Frick. Okay, I'm gonna make it 20 minutes long since I keep you all waiting. Okay, here we go. As Bell went all the way to the first floor, Bell wondered this. What is this place? Oh yeah, it's the dungeon. I thought I was this well. There are those old MMORPG games I played back then, and yes, there were MMORPG games back then, but the graphics were good, but not really the best that we have today, guys. It was basically Resident Evil 2, not remastered, but the old version of that. That's what they played on, but very, very old. maybe in pixels sometimes, but yeah, sorry. So let me take this off. Like, okay, guys, I'm gonna be for real with you. My stomach is so full. Like, I know, that's a good thing. But it's not. Because one thing is really very terrible. I have to take a number 2, and it's really, really starting to, like, it wants out. It really does. Oh, great. Like, I want to at least record up to 20 minutes, so that's what I'm gonna do. As Bill is walking for 5 minutes, monsters started spawning around the walls. However, one thing was obvious. All these monsters were all level 2. Bill wondered what made the dungeon summon level 2s in front of him. This was supposed to be level 1 dungeon. As then he remembered, the psychological... It was probably the fact the dungeon thought he was some type of monster hybrid, because even though he looked in human form, he had a Springtrap. He was wearing Springtrap suit. And let's just say some of that characteristics transferred over to this game, basically like a data file, labeling him a level 2 adventurer. But in reality, in this game, he's only level 1. As all the monsters, as a wolf monster with human arms and furry head, and it was a monster party, as then Bill starts laughing. So, even this goddamn game wants to kill me. Ugh, this is gonna be fun. As then Bill instantly runs to the monsters. The monsters punch him, slash him like it's nothing. He's their basically like he's their they're his toy. However, Bill just keeps stabbing them, not even wincing at the pain. As then he gets done, he's like, great. His body is a bit torn up. As then Bill looks at his leg, he sees a bit of bone ripping out, and he sees most of the claws went to his bones. He's like, great. As then the pain kind of kicks in, like, oh, yep, I remember this. Oh, thank goodness it's not this bad. As then Bill gets a notification, says, congratulations on clearing your first dungeon. She says, what? Since you tried so hard, you get a healing potion. As a healing potion comes out of the item box he got. He's like, what? As then he reads the description, like, Springtrap system, MMLRPG. I just spells like, wait, was this Springtrap suit actually like a memorable video game? File transfer? What? As then says, hello, I am narrator. He's like, okay. You see, usually this should never happen. However, I am basically a system that's basically in the Springtrap suit. I basically do narrating stuff. However, I became somewhat of accustomed to you, Bill Cornell. He's like, yeah, and... Well, you see, after you got spring-locked, I activated, and I've been watching you for almost 30 years now. For almost about 2 years. So Bill's like, so... after 28 years, you activated and you started watching me. Well, you see, I couldn't talk to you directly. Because, one, I could not even talk to you because the system didn't have any voice boxing because the suit's very old. However, thankfully for you, I managed to cheat code the system and give you a potion because... And also, here... As the narrator says, snaps his face, says puts the words like, I snap my fingers, ... As then, when he snaps his fingers, Bill's clothes are all fixed. As then Bill, says, okay. As then the guy says, take the healing potion quick, the narrator says, as he takes the healing potion and drinks it. As then the healing potion disappears from his hand. He's like, what was that? He's like, well, I had to do something. Besides, imagine Ina, who's an elf, saw you this and was reporting to the guild. It would cause a lot of commotion, Belle. Yeah, that is true. So, do I get any benefits for this? As Neri says, oh, so you've read actually books about this. He's like, yeah, I've read this couple of them, like fanfics, like over like web novel. And yes, there is actually a book that was written 57 years ago. I looked it up on web novel. There is. So, but the story was discontinued way before that, and I'm impressed that it was on that site. I'm not joking. There's actually a book that was written 47 years ago on there. Not 47, 51, like 50 years ago on there still. Could be gone, I don't know, but I'm just impressed. Anyway, I hope for now, guys, I have to go to the bathroom, but oh wait, okay, wait, I didn't end it off. Okay. As Belle grabs all the crystals or stones, as he begins asking the narrator this. So, narrator, how long am I gonna be here permanently? Or as the narrator says, no. Basically, when you go to sleep in your animatronic body, you wake up here. Basically, but I was like, great. So I basically don't get any sleep. As the narrator says, yes and no. So it's a maybe. Kind of. Narrator says, like, okay. If you guys like this idea, having this narrator as a system, because if you think about it, there's always like a narrator in the animatronic suits that's narrating this. So I'm saying that there is a narrator in this suit, but it's really old. So right now, I'm going to end this video for now. Like, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please smash the like button. But when I get back from the bathroom, I'm making part 3 to say apologize for that. So anyway, please enjoy. I'm actually bowing my head down, so bowing my head. I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.